Hey there, and welcome to Living in Colorado. I'm your host, Daryl Vaughn, Colorado Realtor, and welcome if you are new to this channel. Here we talk about everything Colorado, and I focus heavily in Denver since that's where I currently live. We also talk a lot about real estate because I'm a realtor. So today we're going to talk about a big question. Should I sell my home without using a realtor? Now, I thought this was pertinent because the other day I was showing a client a home, and almost directly across the street was a sign that said, "For sale by owner." So we thought, hey, maybe we should take a look. So I called the number that was on the sign, no answer, left a voicemail, called again, no answer. I then followed up with a text, again, no answer. And then I thought, should I go knock on their door or something? This person obviously wants to sell their home, right? Eventually I did get a response, which asked me if I was a realtor. And then I said, hey, yes, I am, but I'm not interested in listing your house. Just have a client who's potentially interested. What's your asking price? And again, I got no response. So I thought I'd make this video about whether or not you should sell your home without using a realtor. I'd encourage you to watch all the way to the end so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not you should sell your home without using a realtor. Now let's dive in. So let's talk about the primary reason that people don't want to use a realtor when selling their home. They want to save money, right? If you hire a realtor, you're going to have to pay them thousands of dollars to list your home. Well, I am going to explain to you, in part, what it is that we do that is a tremendous value to your seller. First and foremost, people want to save, depending on what state you live in, anywhere from 5 to 6%. That's a typical commission that is earned by a realtor. However, what people don't know is that if you sell your own home, you will likely get 5% to 10% less than if you had a realtor assisting you with that transaction. I've seen statistics that say people that sell their own homes can get 26% less than if they listed it with a realtor. So if you think about that, there is a very small likelihood that you're going to save any money on not using a realtor. All right, let's start with some stats. 51% of successful sales by owner, the seller already knew the buyer. This happens often in rural towns where everybody knows everybody. So for the for sales by owner transactions that are in fact successful, it's because the seller already knew the buyer. It was your BFF that comes over all the time and says, man, I love your house. I'd really want to buy it one day. And then that day comes, or it's your cousin, or it's your dad, or something like that. So in the case that you do have a successful for sale by owner transaction, it is more than half of the time likely that the seller and the buyer already knew each other and had a personal relationship. Now, if you don't already know somebody who is interested in buying your home, how are you going to market it? Realtors have a tremendous amount of tools that get your home as visible as possible. Open houses, the MLS, and all kinds of online tools and resources that give your home maximum exposure. Now, if you're selling your home on your own, it's pretty likely that you've got a sign in your front yard with a phone number. Are you going to go and print flyers? Are you going to hold your own open houses? And if you are, how are you going to advertise those open houses? Are you going to put your home on Zillow, which apparently you can do, but also Zillow has a long list of cons as to why you should not sell your home without the use of a realtor. So realtors have access to an MLS database. This is all of the active listings that are on the market, aside from, of course, for sale by owner. It's a huge tool, and the majority of realtors that are helping a buyer are going to use the MLS to find properties. They're not going to use Zillow, they're not going to use Redfin, they're not going to use Open Door, or the majority of these online services where you can post your home. So if you're not working with a realtor, you have significantly reduced visibility on your home. And then let's talk about booking showings. Now, when I was in this neighborhood and I saw this sign, I was going to ask for a showing. Now, my guess is that if you're wanting to sell your home, that you probably have a job, and the hours are pretty likely during the day, maybe 9 to 5-ish. So what in the case you have somebody that wants to view the home between 9 and 5? Is somebody going to be at the home all the time? Are you going to be taking calls at work? I mean, even if you work remotely, I mean, do you really want to be fielding calls and managing your calendar all day to get showings? And then in addition, do you want to sacrifice your nights and weekends so that people can come look in your home? And another thing is, how are you going to assure your safety? And realtors actually have tools that warn us of potentially dangerous situations. Now, what if it's the case that somebody drives by your house with your sign, sees your number, calls you and says, hey, I want to book a showing. And they show up and they rob your home at gunpoint. As unfortunate as it sounds, it does happen. And you have no record of that showing. You don't know who that person's name is. So if you actually do move forward with selling your own home and somebody wants to see it, make sure when they book that showing that you get their name, you get their number, you get as much information as you can. And I would look them up online. We don't want you in danger, whether or not you work with a realtor or not. Nobody wants to see you put yourself in a potentially dangerous situation. So just something to keep in mind if you are going to sell your own home. Now, again, back to the saving of money. Now, you probably know that the majority of buyers work with agents. In fact, over 75% of people looking for a home and ready to buy a home are going to use a realtor. Now, how do those realtors get paid? You guessed it, from the seller. That's right. So if you are completely unwilling to pay a buyer's agent in order to sell your home to a potential buyer, then you have just eliminated over 75% of potential buyers from your pool. In fact, it could be more than that, because most buyers don't want to work with somebody who is selling their own home, because they worry the process is going to be more difficult, it's going to take longer, that the seller may or may not know how to write, read, or execute a contract. And those are all valid reasons. So in fact, 15% of buyers worry that when there is a home listed for sale by owner, that it's going to be difficult working with them. And in most cases, that's true. So now add that 15% that are hesitant to buy your home to that 75%, and now your pool is reduced to about maybe a little over 10% of the entire buyer's pool out there. So you've got a very reduced amount of people that you can actually get to buy your home. All right. Now, a very important question here is, do you know how to execute a contract to buy and sell real estate? Well, I'll tell you that realtors do hundreds of these things. Basically we do this is our job, and we see these contracts all the time. Now, say that you're a seller who has sold all of their homes in their lifetime. The amount of contracts to buy and sell real estate you may have seen or execute is probably maximum like 5. Anyways, I'm sure it's in the single digits, but the point I'm making is, what possible expertise can someone who is not a real estate professional have when it comes to the contract to buy and sell real estate. Now, I want to point out here that realtors do have the authority to practice law within the capacity of real estate. Now, on every contract to buy and sell real estate, it says at the very top that this is an important document and legal counsel is advised. Well, guess what? Most buyers are going to feel most comfortable if there's a lawyer involved in the transaction. And guess what? Here we are again. Lawyers cost money. So you're going to have another expense here if you're going to employ the use of a lawyer to take a look at this real estate contract. Now, we all know that contract language is tricky. You have to have it interpreted. It's not just like, any old document or, reading a magazine. This is an important document with serious consequences if it's not executed properly. Also, if you're selling your own home, how are you going to price it? Look, most people are emotionally attached to their homes, and they're going to price it basically for what they want. They're going to consider all the improvements they've made over the years and price it accordingly. The only way people would look at what we call in the industry comps, comparable properties, is typically online resources like Zillow or HomeSnap. What realtors look at is homes that were sold within a certain radius in the last 3 to 6 months. And most consumers just simply don't have access to this. So oftentimes, people that are selling their own homes price them far too high. Oftentimes, they price them about 10% too high, and they get 10% less than what they would have got if they use a realtor. So they ultimately are pricing it 10% high, and it's, maybe selling for ultimately 15 to 20% less than what they actually wanted. So the purpose of a realtor is to get you every dime that's possible and to protect your best interests. So to summarize, you will not save money if you sell your home on your own. Now, you may be able to sell it quicker, and that has a lot to do with the fact that most people that successfully sell their own home sell it to somebody they already know. So that might be one silver lining. You're going to have to spend a ton of time marketing this. So that's why this real estate gig, this is a job. This is a full-time job. And those of us realtors that list properties, it takes quite a bit of time. You have to have I didn't even mention photographs. Now, are you going to just list this house somewhere online and take pictures with your phone? I mean, realtors often spend money to not only take professional photographs of the property, but in addition, they stage the property if you've already moved out of it. So there's a lot of things that we do that add a tremendous amount of value. Now, you are going to have to book showings. You're going to maybe have to have an open house. And do you know how to do that? I mean, do you know how to market that? How are you going to get people there, right? The marketing tool that most sellers use is that for sale by owner sign. And that is extremely limited, especially if you're in a rural area. Maybe it might make sense if you're in a fairly high traffic area and people are driving by all the time, but in most cases, that's just not enough visibility. So think about how time consuming it is going to be to market your property, to be available for showings, to manage a calendar, and people will cancel on you. So you'll have to be dealing with that. You're going to have to be available nights and weekends because that's when most people view properties. And then you have people that will want to look during the daytime when you're probably at work and you're going to be constantly interrupted. So just keep that in mind. This will be a painful process for you. I hope this video has been helpful. If you were thinking about selling your home on your own, I think my position is pretty clear. So if you've changed your mind, and hopefully you have, give me a call. My contact information is going to be at the end of this video. And if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest here in the state of Colorado, again, my contact information will be in the description and at the end of this video. I would love to hear your thoughts. So if you're still out there and you're thinking, this realtor, blah, 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 I'm going to sell my home on my own. Well, I would love to hear your opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So drop me a comment. I will reply to every comment on this channel. Also, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And also, I'd really be honored if you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're alerted every time I come out with new content. I'm Daryl Vaughn Realtor, and I'll see you in the next video.